The Großtraktor, German for large tractor, were a series of prototype medium tanks built for the Weimar Republic in violation of the Treaty of Versailles. They were constructed in secret and were used for tests by the Reichswehr units at the Kama tank school in the Soviet Union. Manufactured by Rheinmetall Borsig, Krupp, and Daimler-Benz, these tanks were built in 1928. 6 medium tanks were built in total for the Weimar Republic. They were around 16 tons, the Krupp one being a bit heavier. They were all roughly 6.5 meters long, around 2 3/4 meters wide, and about 2.5 meters tall, with crew of 6. They were armored with mild steel of between 6 to 14 millimeters, and were armed with main gun of. They were armored with mild steel of between 6 and 14 millimeters and were armed with a main 7.5 centimeter gun, along with 3 7.92 millimeter machine guns, one coaxial to the main cannon, one in the hull, and one in a secondary sub-turret. They were powered by a 290 horsepower BMW engine, and each had different suspension. Krupp had a coil spring, Daimler-Benz had leaf springs, and Rheinmetall had hydraulic. They all also differed in fuel, here in the same order as above: 370 liters, 400 liters, and 480 liters. This would give them approximately 150 kilometers of range on the road. The Rheinmetall and Daimler-Benz had a max speed of about 40 kilometers an hour, and the Krupp with a top speed of about 44 kilometers an hour. Following the First World War, the Germans, as well as pretty much everyone else, had seen the value of tanks on the battlefield. In 1925, plans to design tanks for the Reichswehr were initiated, albeit secretly. By the way, scrap any notion that the Weimar Republic had any interest in following the Treaty of Versailles either. It wasn't just the Nazis. The Nazis were more flagrant in it, but the Weimar Republic had no interest in it either. As a result of this secrecy, they chose the name Großtraktor. As I mentioned, large tractor. Yeah. That's not fooling anyone. These tanks were the first tank designs for the Reichswehr. The design specifications for a tank known as Armeewagen 20 were drawn up in 1926. It was a 15-ton tank with a 7.5 centimeter gun and a fully rotating turret, with a length of 6 meters and a width of 2.4 meters. Contracts to design and build 2 chassis each in soft steel were given to Daimler-Benz, Krupp, and Rheinmetall in March 1927. Krupp designed a turret for their own design, and their tanks would prove to be the odd ones out of the bunch, while Rheinmetall's turret was used on their design as well as the Daimler-Benz production. Construction was started at the Rheinmetall shop in Unterlüß in August 1928 and was completed by June 1929. They were shipped to a secret testing ground in Russia, believe it or not, near Kazan in July. There, their original track links were replaced with the Mark 6/380/160 track links. No, I don't know what that means. These tanks would be used at the Kama tank school in the Soviet Union, part of a mutual agreement between Germany and Russia. Believe it or not, they did sort of get along at one time. So both of them would get technical and operational experience. They were used for training and were eventually retired as monuments after the Nazi Party came to power.